Hey guys, it's me, EODGamer here. In this video, I'm going to be talking about my honest review of how I turn MaplestoryN into my full-time job. On average, right now, I am making a full-time salary of a fresh graduate here in Singapore. It's enough to cover rent. It's about $2,000 to $3,000 USD I'm making every month. For some of you, that might even replace your full-time job. I think it's a very, very humbling salary as well for MaplestoryN. I'm going to be sharing with you transparently. I have a list of some items that I want to cover, but I'm also going to be doing some activities like claiming my weekly raffles so I can show you evidently how much money I make. And I have a lot of these kind of videos on the channel, so you can check out other videos of how to actually make money, profit, because this is not just a game. This, for some of you, might be your livelihood as well. So I want to give you as many tools and resources as I can to help you from the financial aspect of MaplestoryN. So let's start things first off with a bit of a general overview. How long have I been playing? How long do I play? So I have been playing MaplestoryN. Let me just pull up my characters here. If we come into the navigator over here, my longest character, or my main rather, is going to be Refle. You can see I have created Refle on the 7th of June. So I've been really only playing for 2 months, and I have been using a snowball strategy that I've been sharing on the channel as well. So at first, the earnings weren't that great, but once the characters start to snowball, once my method has started to make sense, you will now see that the snowball just keeps rolling and rolling, and why my income just keeps increasing, and it's exponential. The more I keep reinvesting, the more characters I have, the more money I make, and I accelerate a lot faster than other people because I just focus on efficiency and the financial metrics. So this is my main here, about 1.6k, fully buffed. And I'm using a bishop. We have a lot of other guides on the channel as well. So that is my main character, and since then we have a ton of other characters. I have a lot of these like archers as well, filling up the slots, but we have currently about like 3 to 4 bossing mules that are around 10k stat plus. So slowly you'll get more and more, but for now it's a modest 3 amount. I've been playing for 2 months as of time of recording, and if you're asking me how long I play a day, it's quite long. So usually I play like 10 hours a day. I try to clock in. I don't exactly play all 10 hours. Sometimes I'm like very AFK. Sometimes I'm also deploying other strategies that we talk about on our channel, like AFK farm strategies and other things. Sometimes I'm trading. Sometimes I'm just increasing my character's star force and whatever not equipments. But not all the time it's trading. Sometimes it's fighting bosses. So mostly roughly around like 10 hours a day is really a full-time job to earn a full-time job's salary as well. And I've been playing for 2 months. So in another month's time, it will likely keep increasing and increasing because I don't intend to cash out. Whatever money I make, I'm just reinvesting, because then you get to do the juicy parts when you can actually turn this into like a 4k, 5k salary on a regular basis. And some of you can follow this strategy. I want to show you guys that it works. That's why I'm not cashing out. Otherwise, I could have just cashed out a lot of money already. So how many characters do I have? For that, the best way to talk about it is through Legion. So let's look at this one over here. In terms of my Legion board right now, I'm currently sitting at like 2.7k. It's boosted. It is boosted through like some of these like fodder characters that I have on the account, which are just like random ones that I bought to increase my Legion. But I have grinded most of these from like 100, definitely 100 up, hand grinded. Other than this one is like I bought also for the fire and poison. But we have most of my characters here, 150. My bossing mules currently is my Ice and Lightning, which is roughly around 9k-ish, 9k stats, 188. Able to clear everything up to Chaos Papillatus. I can't enter Chaos Papillatus yet because I'm 188, but everything else clears in a party. A duel. And for here, you have my Night Lord, which I stopped funding because I helped someone build a Night Lord, so this one is not counted. But other than that, I have 3 characters over here. Hand Grinder above 200 as well. All these can do and clear Lotus and Damien in a party as well. There are 13k, 15k, and 16k, if I'm not wrong, the stats for each of them. And they are really, really very solid. So they are the ones generating most of my income. And this week, I will be doing a follow-up video with the money that I make this week to reinvest into my Ice and Lightning, to take my Ice and Lightning also probably up to around the 11k mark. And once I get the levels, probably this will also be another Lomian boss meal as well. And I'm working on some other characters like my Marksman to take up for the subsequent week and stuff. So then I'll have 4 bossing meals, 5 bossing meals, and so on and so forth. So these are kind of like the characters I have. About 3 main bossing meals that does everything weekly. They solo all the way up until like Magnus Vellum for these 2, and my hero does up until Chaos, the 3 doors Chaos, and after that you can like more or less do everything else. But very solid killers. This one can solo all the way up until CRA. 3 doors I haven't really tried. I think I just need to hit 195 and I probably can solo 3 doors. But can do everything all the way up until Chaos Preparators because I don't have the level requirements to get into the boss yet. But if I do that, it should be fine by then. So that is my number of characters that I have. What is my game state? For any of you who are ever interested in like seeing EOD, how he makes his characters and whatever not, you can just come into here. You can just like go into any of them. You can see, for example, my Ice and Lightning over here. You can just like simply just scroll down what my gears are for my Ice and Lightning and my stats amount, which is blocked by this thing. Yeah, you can see very transparently all my gears, all my characters. I am very transparent. I don't like remove my gear and hide it after I log off kind of thing. But I think it's useful for you guys, for those of you who want to reference. But they are not cheap characters by any means, which comes into the next part here, which is how much money I spent. In total, how much money I've spent in MaplestoryN, you would see, and of course I'm getting the juicy part because I can get to like claim my Raffles in a little bit as well. All of the juicy Raffles, you will see. I purposely started off with, I believe this is 0. So I removed all my Nesos that I had. So I'll show you how much I actually get on a weekly basis as well. But in terms of money that I spend about 15,000, 10 to 15k on this game in total. So 10 to 15k for 3 13k plus stats, 9k stats, and I have a full Fafnir on my Marksman as well. So I think it's pretty good price. I keep reinvesting. So right now, I'm more or less like only funded 2 characters and maybe like a little bit for this one. Then now they generate so much money that they are funding my other characters and just helping me increase my income. So no longer need to spend. In fact, I did actually consider like taking out 50% because it's a lot of money, more than I actually need right now in the game. So I don't mind like taking to recoup my investments. But I decided, I'm just going to do giveaways. So I am going to start on giveaways as well for the channel. For any of you who are supporting as a member of channel, you are on our Discord. I am planning to start maybe towards the end of August once I get the administration right. If you're interested, do join our Discord as well. It's very, very useful for any of you who want to itch. I'll be doing a lot of giveaways every time I make some money. So 10 to 15k that I have spent on this game, US dollars. And let me just show you on a week, for example, how much money I make. So I'm going to show you claiming, because claiming is after all the event, is when it actually happens. So what am I starting out with? I'm starting out from nothing. So let me just hide this notepad over here. I'm starting out from $0 over here. 0 Nesos, and you will see how much that I gain as well. For transparency's sake, my wallet here, I have, as of time recording, I have just nothing. These are all like cosmetics and stuff. So you will see how much money I'm making. I have 0 Nesos just to show you. So first one, I'm going to claim on my first character. This is of course my main. So I expect it to be higher. And straight away, like, you see like freaking 12.5 million from a Lomian claim. Of course, I'm sharing one of the clears with one person. So I will probably owe the person like 6 million plus. So just take that in the back of your mind, like minus 6 million, because we are splitting the loot. If any of you who have gear and you want to like party with me, to split loot with me on a weekly basis regularly, you can see that I have a lot of characters. I'm always looking for people to party with. Join our Discord if you're a member. I'm very happy to discuss a schedule so we can do all of the bosses together and earn some money together. As long as you have like maybe 10k stat and you're looking for a regular partner to share loot so that we can progress together, hit me up, let me know. I'll be really happy to discuss as well. So that is for the first one. This is freaking crazy, right? 12 million straight away. And look at the number of NFT drops that I have. So let me just go ahead and mint all of them first. It's really an insane amount. And look at all of these stuff. It's like, it takes so long to click all of them as well. And this is just one character. 120 bucks, excluding all these NFT drops. And of course, I'm splitting the loot, so this one's like 60 bucks more or less. And I'm giving like 3 coins to the person as well. So, but it is still quite a substantial amount. So let me just move all this. I don't think I need it for my NFT collection. I believe I have most of them already. So solid gains. Did I have any decos? Oh, I do have one extra. So that's for my first character. Did they all manage to move? Okay. So first character done. I always like to just double check. So 12 mil, and I'll go on to the next character now. So you can see exactly like how much money that I made, and I'll just run through the breakdown later on of how I reached to that threshold. Because even though like weekly bossing is a significant proportion, it is not the entire thing. Like you still can get a lot of money from other stuff that is not weekly bossing. This is just like one example. So now we're sitting at like 12.5 mil, and I'll come into the Refle dashboard here. I'll just like, this is, you can see like a bit of a bad luck here. 4-man looters, nothing. But it is what it is. Sometimes you have ups, sometimes you have downs. So another character over here. The fact that I have like so many characters, it helps give us a lot more gauge, because one character could get lucky, but if I have multiple, at least it gives you like a few weeks of estimation. So claim that, and you can see another 14 mil here. So 2 characters now, like 14.5 mil. These are both of my characters, and that's of course like claiming everything all at once. So let me just convert that. So that's, how much is this? 270 US dollars, almost 270, excluding all of these items over here. And for this character, I'm not sharing anything because no one wanted to split. They just wanted free for all for any of the bosses that I fought. So that is fantastic. I'm also getting some from some other people. As I did some bosses together with other people, they are also giving me, I think they're giving me like 3 mil plus. So on average, net is like I only have to give out 3 mil. And I have a Ventus badge, another Necromancer hat. Do I have anything else? Well, I have a mount for Vellum. So pretty solid gains. Have a Crystal Ventus. This one's going on definitely on my mule, because as I gain the items, you can see I naturally like farm for my mules as well, because I can let them use, and it will help me get another character up to boss even faster. So now I'm like 27 mil, excluding all the NFT drops. This is my second character. My second bossing mule, about 15k stats. And now moving on to Aurelia. Aurelia has 13k. I believe it's like 13k buff. Let me check. Yeah, 14k buff. And let me just go into a less crowded area. So, okay, Raffles here. I did win some over here already. And this is, of course, dailies. Oh, I got the Catty Aquarium for the dailies. Very interesting. So right now, I have 27 mil. Claim all. This one earned me less. This was like 1.5 mil, because I didn't really do like Lotus and Damien, I believe. Or maybe I did. I can't exactly. I think I did as a party, like, and I didn't get anything. So sometimes you get a bit bad luck, especially if you are lower level. Get a lot lower, but I got this Absolute Night Suit, which is nice. So 1, 2, and we will mint all of these. So it's crazy amount of money. Very healthy. I believe I didn't get anything else. So now we shall move. I don't even know whether I need a scary gift toy. Maybe I'll check the NFT later. I'll just move everything into the wallet so it's easy for us to see. All right. 1.5 mil here. So it's like 15 bucks if you are unlucky. But that of course excludes all of the tokens and stuff like that, right? From the bosses. All the CRA stuff, which does add up to quite a bit. So this is my third bossing character. This week earning a lot more than last week, because last week my character was like barely 200. Now this character last week was only like 190 something. So same like Yemiko basically as our time recording. So once he hits like 205, I think the earnings will start accelerating quite significantly. So this is my next one, my next bossing mule over here. Last week, this character was like 170. So definitely the earnings won't be very high. 170 or 180, just nice. Like maybe 180, just nice if I'm not wrong. So not too much earnings. And on a daily basis, also you can see like getting some sort of loot. So I did do a little bit of CRAs, like some here, some of these like glow florins, not too much. Hard Magnus clear last week as well. So I got a bit of Nesos, a bit of gold florins, got some. This is my first ever raffle that I won. First ever in 2 months of playing non-stop. That's crazy stuff. But let's go ahead and claim all of it. Not too much, but this is of course, this character was a lot lower level. Now it's like slightly higher level. Have roughly around like 840k here. So just on Nesos alone, not 29 mil, minus 3 mil net that I'm going to give out, which leaves me at around a 26 million earnings, excluding all of the other items over here, like this gold florins and whatever not. So let me just mint all of these. Some you can see I have some other gear that's like waiting to transfer to my other characters. Once they are ready to transfer, then I have another bossing mill. Because as I'm crafting, I get some spares. I want to use this. Cosmetics. I spend a lot of money on cosmetics just for fun. So okay, that's not part of the video, but I'm just gonna move it in first since I'm doing it. And is there anything else? Am I missing? Yeah, I think I claimed most of it. All right, so 29 mil, and let's go into the NFT. Let's check out everything right now. So I'm just gonna refresh. So 1 week's earning 29 mil, plus we have all of these like other stuff over here that we have, like 10 of these, which I believe is about 5 mil. So this one's like 5 mil. So this takes it to 34 million. Let me just bring out like the notepad here. Again, make it easier to count. So 29 mil minus 3 mil, because that's how much I'm giving out. About 26 Nesos. I have 10 Yggdrasils, CRA shards, which is 5 mil. I'm doing the low end, so I have like 5 mil over here. Let me just move it to, maybe I'll put it up here, somewhere easier to see. So CRA shards, 5 mil. We have, what other shards are easy? Gold florins. Gold florins, I guess, are quite easy as well. Glow florins. Actually, I'm not too sure. Are they 100k now? Or are they 150? They are 160k, so not too bad. Higher than I thought. So roughly around, how much is that? It's 35 plus 17, right? So it's 52. Okay, let's just say it's 5 mil as well, right? 5 mil. Yeah, somewhere around there. 100k times 35, 3.5 mil. About 5 mil. So double 5 mil over here. And I mean, the gold florins probably are worth something. 148 are probably like 100, 200k, roughly around there, because these are worth like 2,000 each, right? So this is like 300k here, but anything less than 1 mil, let's like not count. If not, it will take forever to count everything. We have 10 Absolapse coins, which I'm giving out. Oh, I already count like the giving out 3 because I minused it here already. So anything that I'm splitting with other people, and again, if you have a little bit of gear, you want to like boss together with me, I'm always looking for people to boss, because every week I have a new character doing Lomian, so I'm always looking for new people to play with rather than pubs. If you guys want to play together, I'm very happy to split the loot with you, or if you want free for all also, just join our Discord, let me know, especially if you're members of the channel. I'm very happy to help you guys progress faster as well, to make some of these money yourself too. So CRA shards 10, we have, the Absolapse shards, we also have 4 Stigma shards. So Lomian shards over here, we have a total of like 14. How much is 14? Each of them are currently going for 600, let me count. 650 times 14, which is 9.1 million for all of them. So let me just go back to my inventory. So 9.4 mil for Lomian, and the rest of them, they're all NFTs, right? So how are we going to count? Let's just count the number of NFTs over here. Let me just move this up. We have 1 NFT, 2. Let's just assume they go for base value. Of course, stuff like the Absolapse suit will probably go for more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm sure the Crystal Benter patch goes for more. 8 here, 9, 10, 11, 12. I think I miscount 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 14 NFTs this week. Did I have anything? No. Okay, I think it's sorted from like first to last. So 14 NFTs. Let's say the 14 NFTs go for about 350k. That is 5 mil, about 5 mil, excluding for higher value stuff like this one here, and maybe the hats the equipment might go for a little bit higher than like base value 350. But let's just assume everything is base value for prudency's sake, right? So that is about another 5 mil. NFT drops 5 mil. Roughly around there. So that takes us to a total of 5, 10, 36. Let's just say this is 10 for easy math. 36, 46, 51 mil. So 51 mil from all in just this week alone, from the number of drop, minus away, of course, already the amount of money that I'm sharing with people and people are sharing with me. So I have incoming funds, I have outgoing funds as well, just by doing bosses together with people. So that is quite huge. I think 51 million is very, very solid. It's about 500 USD as of time of recording. And in my home currency, that's like $700 Sing, which is definitely enough to survive. I don't even have to do anything else. Not even like, even my minuscule amounts from like YouTube and stuff, probably the money that I make from this video is like $1. So yeah, it's nothing. Making these YouTube videos is more of a sharing with you guys information than actually making money out of it, because it's not really too great. I'm much better like just keep this information into bosses if I really wanted to profit more. But I understand some people of you around the world might be actually looking for an alternative, finding jobs. So you can see, I give you transparently the numbers of what I'm making so that you guys can make an estimation. I'm not expecting you guys to follow me 100% because it is quite expensive. Not many people have like 10k, 15k USD to put into the game. But if you do, you can actually see it returns quite well. So next up is, of course, daily bosses. So daily bosses is not that bad either. So I'm going to just show you the rest of them, right? So let's talk about a character that does the daily bossing. Right now, on my account, let's go back to my main here. All of them do the same daily bosses because the difficulty is more or less the same. On average, right now, I only clear these 4 bosses. I only do these 4 bosses and Omni because it's very easy. So I only do 5 daily bosses. The rest of them take up too much time for what it's worth. So I just skip all of it. You can see over here for daily bosses, I have normal Magnus. Sometimes I get 400k, sometimes I get like nothing. It does bounce up. But the more characters that you can see here, tomorrow I'm getting like 50k for one character, or not 170k rather. And then the day after I'm getting like 400k. And then tomorrow I'm getting the following day, 3 days later, I'm getting like absolutely nothing from this character. So it really depends on the amount. Sometimes you can get like super, super unlucky. Sometimes you get really, really lucky as well. But my estimation on average, daily bossing gives me around 300k to 1 mil Nesos. This is all in. I do 5 bosses on 3 characters. So it gets me around this. If you do even more, you can probably earn a bit more, but I'm just too lazy to grind every single bosses. So I have about 300k to 1 mil Nesos available a day, which takes me, if you multiply this by 30, you play 30 days. So that will take you around how much? 9 mil to 30 mil, right? Rough. Is it 9 mil to 30 mil? Yeah, because the range is quite a lot. So 9 mil to 30 mil, which is, let's just put it in the middle end. So let's just say it's like 20 mil. 20 mil a month from like daily bossing if I get like 300k to 1 mil Nesos every day. And as I get more characters, this number will of course increase. But roughly, I feel that the range is between 300k to 1 mil. I'm estimating on the low side because you just need to hit one NFT in a day to immediately like double your returns already. So I'm sure this number is a lot more. But 20 mil, this is like $200 US dollars a month. So this is healthy. This one over here, how much is this? This one attributes to weekly bossing, attributes to, let's just multiply this by 4. This is like 2k plus, but I don't think it's normally this high. I feel like it goes, I think it's roughly between like 1.5k to 2k a month, depending on the RNG. This one I was like slightly a little bit luckier because I did get a 12 million raffle. So other than that, probably it will be like $100 lower. So maybe it will be, instead of 51 mil, maybe it should have been. And of course that 12 mil I'm sharing. So I don't exactly get the full attribution to it. So maybe it would have been like 40 mil a week. So I'll just estimate 1.5k, 2k a month, roughly around there for weeklies. Daily farm is actually where it gets a lot of money. So on average, I make around 100 150 to 200k an hour. Not because my farm is weak, but it's because I grind a lot of lower level characters also. I don't 100% grind my main. That's why my main's only like 100 and 210. I grind a lot of other characters like 206, 202, which gets the Neso penalties when they're farming at higher levels. As you can see, I grind a lot of Legion characters this month as well. So they all farm at a lower rate. So on average, my rate of return is a lot lower. It's like roughly around like 150, 200k per hour because of the lower level characters that I'm farming. If I want to farm all of my main, then of course my earnings will be a lot more. I do this for around, if I play for like 10 hours a day, probably I'm like farming for at least 6 hours a day. This takes me to, let's just say like 1 mil. Usually I have a mental like number. I just farm 1 mil and then I'm done for the day. So 1 mil Nesos is usually what I get on a daily basis. You multiply by 30 days. This gives me like 30 mil Nesos. 30 mil Nesos of farm. This is of course on a low end because if I focus just on one character, I'll likely daily farm a lot more. So roughly around, if I'm assuming like 1:1 US dollar, of course I know right now at the time recording, one NXPC is going for like what, 96 US cents, but I'll just round it up to $1 since it's like 5% off. $300 a month just on this alone. And etc. Anything etc. is like, for example, equipment drops. For example, people pay me for boss carrying them. These are really negligible, or people like hiring me for services. I help them build their characters and stuff like that. All of these, not really too much. And of course, we have stuff like trading, equipment sales, and whatever not. So all of these all add up. But because this is very subjective, it fluctuates a lot depending on the markets. I would say that the trading equipment sales make up roughly around 10 to 20% of whatever investment I make in the item. So depending on how much money you put in, I expect to break like 10 to 20% after the tax from the item, after like star forcing equipments, and that's generally what I see. Sometimes I lose a little bit of money, but I exclude all of the trading stuff in this video. I'll do that for another time as well. But just on the farm alone, just playing the game without any star forcing, RNG or whatever, trading or whatever not, I make 500, you can see over here, plus this is about 2k to 2.5k low end, these are low estimates, because I do not factor in a lot of other things. As you can see, as I was doing the numbers, I was always taking the low end of everything. So realistically speaking, I have a feeling it's around 3,000 US dollars, which is about $4,500 SGD in my home currency, which is a lot of money and enough to really live a full-time job. Of course, at this point, if you're interested in more content, I do share how I make my money for the financial sense to members of the channel. If you're interested to make money and profit also, you can join our members. Otherwise, if you're just here to have a good time, learn about the game, I have a lot of free content as well just to help you get better at the game. But if you want to make money, then of course, consider joining as a member. It really will help the channel out a lot. Just keep me incentivized to sharing with you more information transparently as well. And thank you guys so much for watching my video. See you guys in the next one.